past, fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful laws and past. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off, we had Izuku Midoriya. Him having difficulties to cope after his father's death. Trying to maintain calmness while in Super Saiyan. After almost killing Momo, in one of their training sessions, Midoriya left the planet, trying to isolate himself, believing that the only way for everyone to be safe is if he keeps the monster in its cage. Now, that sadly did not work. Midoriya was angry and full of rage on his time on Vampa. And eventually Vados did find him. Midoriya beginning to train with the Namekians, beginning to learn the ways of peace, and try and find some form of balance within himself. Now, along with that, Midoriya did stay out in space longer than Vados anticipated. Midoriya should have been gone for only a year, possibly return before then. But that boy stayed out there. Now, with all that, Midoriya did finally return after the strange visitor from the future did actually arrive in their time. Now, with all of that being said, we will pick up there. Midoriya is sitting down at the table and beginning to ask questions. From the future? Why are you here? I'm trying to prevent a great threat from appearing. Okay. What is it then? Well, that's the hard part. What? The threat. It was a strange beast. It was, I don't know. It was just popped up one day without any warning. It's not just that. It's ravaging the universe. It thought it killed everybody on Earth, but it didn't. Within my timeline, everyone survived. Except for anyone within this room. Now, hearing those words does surprise Midoriya. What does she mean, everyone within this room? Her going on to state that within the next 6 months, she believes that the Galactic Patrolmen will arrive, and they will induct Earth into the Galactic Patrol rankings, and share their technology with us. However, after that is said and done, there will be a 2 to 3 years of peace. Then, Midoriya will die. What? Momo getting visibly angry, along with Hasashi, Nenko, and Mina. All of them asking how. As she goes on to state that the threat targets Midoriya first. It sought him out. It is a being of pure malice, rage, and anger. She doesn't believe that she's seen anything like it before. In fact, if she had to describe it, she would call it pure evil. Now, she then does try and talk more about, possibly, what it could be. It could be from Earth and it could be an alien. She doesn't exactly understand it. They don't know. Now, this is whenever she then does actually try and give a bit more information. With all of that, there's something else. Midoriya needs to get into contact with a few people by the name of Bakugo Katsuki, Mei Hatsume, and many others. Her sliding over a hard drive and saying that these are all the key details that they do need to know. Midoriya gently picking it up. Okay. Wait a minute. That's the Earth Defense logo. How do you have this? My mother gave it to me. Your mother? What are you? Are you human? That's a complicated matter. But do know. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain. She looks like this. Yes. This is a character from My Hero Academia that I did not know existed. Anyways, now. With all that, she does try to explain. She can't really give him all the key details. But be aware. What he does need to know is that everything will be okay. And that this strange stuff that pops up, it will not be expecting Midoriya to be on Earth now. Vados actually stepping up and bringing up 1 point to the guest to their time. My, young lady. It appears you forgot one of the greatest fundamentals to time travel. Huh? What are you talking about? By simply being here, you are disrupting time itself. Time works like a pond of water. It can all flow smoothly in one direction, and it will go into a stream. However, there are many paths diverging away from that stream. Those are timelines. Now, what do you think happens whenever you go back to that river and you chuck a rock into it? Or let's say skip a rock, actually. Huh? I don't know. Well, you create a ripple effect. What? Yes, a ripple effect. Let's say there's a fish in that stream. He was supposed to swim to the left. That was his destined course. However, since you chucked the rock in, you frightened him. So he swam to the right. Meaning that you caused a different choice. Her going on to explain it a bit better. How that one singular action changes the course of that fish's life. Instead of that fish going out to sea, the fish gets picked up by a bird and eaten for dinner. Now, that is one of the more extreme ways to basically explain it, but it's still the same way she would. Now, with that, they do try and get the traveler's name. Her just saying her name is Hope. That is what she was called. Now, with all of that, she does actually explain to them more. These details that she has given them. Hopefully they are able to find them and make sure that the timeline is changed. However, with what her looking at this blue-skinned lady, this one said, she doesn't know exactly what to say. If her timeline really has not changed, then that's bad. In fact, that means that she probably shouldn't even really be here right now. Now, With all of that, she then does actually go to leave. As soon as she does step outside, she throws a capsule out onto the yard. Before it does pop, that's surprising everyone in the room. Vados being surprised at compact technology. As she does go to leave, getting in the time machine and going back to her own time, explaining that she will be back in 1 year, or roughly 3, to make sure that they are doing okay. Now, with all of that, as she is leaving, she does stare down at them all, hoping, wondering if she has really changed the future. Now, with all of that, she herself does arrive back in her own timeline, and head back to the lab where her mother resides. Meanwhile, with Midoriya, he is quite curious about all this. Him disappearing. Now, as soon as he does disappear, he does return a few seconds later with a laptop, explaining that he had to take this thing real quick. You at least did pay for it, right? Sure. Midoriya typing a few things in before plugging the laptop in, or plugging the USB. As soon as he plugs it in, you do begin to look at a few things on the data. An entire list of events that will happen, and how they do occur. Now, with that, they do begin to look through the list, and Vados has actually already begun to piece apart things that either haven't happened or have yet to happen. Explain that today there was supposed to be this event over with this country. Now, along with that, there is a few list of names. Midoriya deciding that this would probably be the best thing to do for right now. However, before he does go to bring his fingers up, you do have Momo who does grab him by the wrist. You're not leaving just yet. Huh? Why? We need to find these people. Yes, but you also do need to take a shower. Oh, you're right. Now, Midoriya actually does take off his jacket and set it down, as he does go to walk towards his room. Now, as soon as he does go through his room, he goes into his bathroom and hops in a shower. Now, with all of that, Hisashi and Inko do begin to further research a few things about this computer. And it does talk more and more about what is currently happening. Now, with all of that being said, Midoriya does get a fresh change of clothes, before him and Momo, along with Mina, actually do decide to head out. Now, after they do arrive within the city, a lot of people do recognize Midoriya, beginning by still trying to get his autograph. Midoriya and everyone having to fly overhead as they do arrive at the Earth Academy, or formerly known as UA High School. Now, as soon as they do arrive, Midoriya does actually go back to that one teacher, who he was talking to, opening his classroom door and asking exactly where are Bakugo Katsuki and him listing off a few more names. Oh, it's you. Huh? Nothing. Listen, if you're looking for them, they already graduated. Graduated? Yeah, they graduated their augmentation classes, training, everything. Sound familiar? No. Listen, if you want to find them, they're at him saying an address and telling him to buzz off. Midoriya closing the door. Now, after heading over to that address that they were given, Midoriya does actually walk into the front door. As soon as he does ask for Bakugo Katsuki and a few other people, he is told to wait. Roughly an hour later, Bakugo actually does appear. And he is surprised to see Midoriya. Exactly what the hell do you want? Midoriya turning around and seeing Bakugo. He seems to be in an armored suit, or at least in some sort of weird clothing. Along with that, there is a strange line going from his eye up towards his forehead, along with many other things on his face. Now, with all of that, Midoriya does actually begin to ask Bakugo a few questions. So, did you get any strange visitors recently? No? Why? Well, I did. And she says that we need your help. Exactly why? Now, Midoriya does actually get a phone call. Him pulling out his phone and answering it, as he does put it on speaker. Inko saying one swift name. Now, as soon as she does say that name, she does begin to go on and continue. That is what it says here. What is that? Now, Bakugo, he's frozen. As he just asks exactly what do they need help with. Well, it's about our strange visitor. What about it? Well, a time traveler. Huh? Yeah. It's a bit strange. I had a time traveler tell me that someone was coming here to kill me. In 3 years. You waste my time for a fucking joke? No. Listen to me, Bakugo, this is bigger than you think. Besides, whatever him saying the name once more means, then it's clearly important. I still don't know how you know that. But still. I'm not gonna just waste my time off your little nonsense. Now, Mina, she does actually stop Bakugo, stepping in front of him and saying that within 6 months, the Galactic Patrolmen are going to come to Earth. The what? More aliens. Oh, great. Well, I'll at least get to try fighting them. No, Bakugo, they're peaceful. In fact, they're going to share technology with us and try and get our help. Why would they do that? Because if they are able to enlist our help, we'll be able to take down the Emperor. The who? The guy who rules the universe. Listen, you're out of the loop on a lot of things. Yeah. I'm gonna go back to my work now. In fact, I do have to go see our doctor about my augmentations. Is her name Mei Hatsume? Bakugo turning around. That's 2 for 2. How do you know all this? Because, listen to me. I told you before. In fact, listen. Did you ever try and look for Vados, Kami, anyone to teach you? I don't need any of that. I'll rely on good old technology if I'll have you know. Bakugo bring up his arm, and a explosion forming in it. Now, after Bakugo does do that, he does go to turn around. Midoriya grabbing him on his shoulder and using instant transmission. As they do appear on the lookout. Bakugo confused. quickly grabbing Midoriya by his arm and knocking it off of his shoulder as he spins around, bringing his hands up. Where the hell are we? Listen, we're on the lookout. I don't have time for your games. Him turning around. Before I realize that he's not within a building. Him looking throughout the air before he does look over the edge. A flying building? What the? Now, he turns around and demands an explanation from Midoriya, as he does go rushing forwards. Now, Midoriya goes on the defensive, as soon as Bakugo does actually blast forwards towards him, and begins to fly at high speeds. Midoriya just dodges downwards, as Bakugo's kick goes above him. Him trying to spin around and attack, as Midoriya is able to actually bring up his arm and defend. Now, Midoriya was going at a very low power level. However, as soon as Bakugo did hit, it hurt his arm a lot and he had to power up. Before Bakugo began to simply just attack more. Now, Momo was quite impressed. What the heck? How is he keeping pace? Now, Mina would just bring up that it doesn't seem like he is. He's, well, not attacking. Look at his movements. Now, you do see Midoriya, who is trying to block Bakugo, and stay on the defensive. Bakugo rapidly being able to attack, and try and take down Midoriya. Before Midoriya does one thing, as Bakugo does go to throw out a punch. Midoriya swiftly just catching it as he surprises Bakugo. Bakugo trying to lean more into his punch. I told you before. Midoriya turning Super Saiyan, as he begins to squeeze down harder on the hand. Listen to me. Him causing Bakugo to fall backwards, still grasping onto his hand. If you don't listen to me, then just understand this. People are going to die. And we have proof of the future. Now, meanwhile within Bakugo's combat systems, or within his, one of his eyes, it is telling him that the data is unfound, and that this is a new thing to study. Basically, a warning system, telling him that encountering Midoriya could prove fatal. Now, a brief explanation. If Dr. Gero, with combat data from Goku's fights as a child to data of Vegeta and before Namek, can create androids on par with a Super Saiyan, I believe that with everything that they've observed on Earth, it would be perfectly possible to at least say Bakugo and a few people would be on par with Midoriya. However, they'd have to be heavily augmented. And I mean heavily. Like Android 17 and other androids type thing. Now, with all of that, Bakugo is taken to Midoriya's house, encountering Hisashi and Inko, before himself reviewing this data. A few of these files, they do seem to be there. Some of them he does notice as top secret within the Earth Defense Force, including a few other things, along with one particular name that is in a file, Melissa Shields. Now, as soon as he does see that name, he's surprised that they do have it. So, your friend was telling the truth? Yep. Listen, she'll be here in about 3 years. Fuck. First off, you appear one day, take down some strange asshole. Then, 3 years later, you appear. What? Not even 3 years. 7, 8. You show back up and try and talk to me. Try and see where your old friends went. Then 3 years, you pop up again. Not just that, you're able to keep pace with us. We're augmented. And that yellow hair thing, it's annoying. Yeah, Bakugo, that's a Super Saiyan. A what? Saiyan? Oh god, you're one of them, aren't you? Hey, Momo says. Bakugo looking over his shoulder, as she tells Bakugo to not say them. The evil Saiyans have a very bad habit that they've been trying to correct. Even then, the war effort has just ended. The what? Bakugo, basically listen to me. Have you ever heard of Star Wars? Yes? Basically, we're the galaxy far, far away. Bakugo? We're on the edge of an empire, ruled by a galactic dictator, basically. And her planet, him pointed to Momo, saying has been through a civil war. Meanwhile, while her planet, him pointing at Mina and saying has been hidden from the Emperor. Wait, she's an alien? I thought she was human. No, she's not. Actually, I think she's a demon. Oh. You're making my head hurt. But that still didn't explain anything. Now, as Bakugo is sat down to explain things, I do believe that I can leave this part off of here. And I do hope you guys enjoyed.